Hey there, you guys. This is Diego again for my tribute speech. I would like to dedicate this to my younger self and anyone that is going through something similar that I have experienced. So it all started with one day someone told me the phrase, "You are who you surround yourself with." And I thought in my head to myself, is that why I always feel empty? Then Then a second later, my younger self kicked in my head and said, well, why didn't I feel that way? So see, the issue was that I felt alone and empty because I didn't really have a purpose, or I didn't really have anything to call mine, not a hobby or a person. I was just alone, basically. Well, I'd say that was the person I was for about 4 years. I until I had like a really reflective walk quite recently, and I had a very important conversation with a family member, so that helped me a lot. And also to get me to the point where I am now, of how I've dealt with things being thrown at me by life, I'd say that I write this to understand what to do in the future with the experience that I have now, to eventually have a happier, better future with myself. So like carbon, we gotta experience a little bit of pressure to become diamonds. The first thing that I wanted to talk about was why I didn't, things I had disliked about myself and I couldn't find my purpose. I feel like those are like the two things that really like made me feel that way. I'd say that my thoughts and assumptions that I had of other people in my head, like your thoughts aren't reality. So I feel like my thoughts made me self-sabotage myself and made it a lot more difficult to make friends. And also had disliked some physical aspects of myself, like my eye bags. Now I don't really care about them, but at the time it was really irritating. Also, I couldn't find my purpose in the sense that I didn't think I had anything special, like as myself. But it turns out I did. I just hadn't really known about it at the time. For example, I didn't really remember anything from my first 2 years of high school for that reason, and I just thought that things would change with time, but I didn't realize that I'd also have to be open and seek that change. So if you want change to happen, you have to act, and then you see the change acting in your life as it slowly improves things around you, because things worthwhile take time. So the second thing I'd say is seeking change. Seeking change is important. I'd say seek help and give yourself time to think about it. If you don't have like a trusted family member or anyone you can trust with this, call the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline 988, or the National Alliance for Mental Illness is 1-800-950-6264. Because it's better to express your emotions out than to just keep them bubbled up in your body and then just building up to an eventual breakdown and such. And then also I gave myself time to think about it, and also self-care. Like I was introduced to it by my psychology teacher. Just her like putting them in front of my face, it's just, I feel like it was a big help in terms of like finding things to ease my mind. But also things I did myself personally was I started doing long distance walks for like 12 miles just to clear out my mind. It'd take 4 hours at the time, but I feel like now they've helped me a lot and have brought me in my journey. And also picked up art very recently. It's a really good way to get my emotions out, and has been really successful, and I'd recommend it. Even if you're not good, just draw whatever you want, whatever comes to heart, if you want to do that, because it's again better to put things out there than just keep it bubbled up inside of you. I had even drawn like a self-portrait of mine, of how I felt in a moment. It was very eye-opening, to be honest. But yeah, the thing I want to leave you guys with is that it's never too late to change. The course of you and who you want to be. While we can't go back and change things, it's important to accept our mistakes and shortcomings as just a part of life, and taking those lessons to better improve our futures, to be better people. And also remember that not making a decision is a decision. And I feel like the feeling you get from making a decision and it didn't go as well as you would have planned is a way better feeling than not acting on it at all and feeling like a sense of regret. So I do everything I do now for the younger version of myself to make him proud of where he's going to be and where I'm going to continue going. Because we should always be open to things as an opportunity or a lesson, and not restrict ourselves from having fun in the world and being the best person we can possibly be to ourselves and others. Stay kind.